Ever wondered what it takes to shape the next generation of rock stars while rocking out in multiple bands? Meet Garrett Keillor, music director at School of Rock Boca Raton, a talented beer brewer, and a man who knows how to bring rhythm to life both on and off stage. Stick around to learn more about his journey, his bands, and what fuels his creative fire.
Hey,
now.
welcome to the podcast.
Garrett.
Thank you.
So, welcome back to the Digital Mayors podcast, where we uncover and highlight the amazing people and places that make South Florida such an incredible community to live, work, play, and give. Today, we're thrilled to welcome the one and only Garrett Keillor.
Woo, go Garrett.
Garrett's not only the music director at School of Rock Boca Raton, but he's also a talented multi-instrumentalist
Yeah, he
and
is.
member of several bands, including Stumble Steady,
Love 'em.
with our very own podcast producer, Mr. Ben Castro. Garrett,
Let's go.
welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have you here, man.
Thank you for having me.
And can I just start by saying, I love you.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
For real. Like I have love for this man.
I do.
I love you.
I truly do.
I love you
I
guys.
love you.
He's just a super cool human being.
Yeah.
You are.
Oh my God.
Jump right in, man.
I'm just putting
Oh
it
my
out there.
God.
Sorry, we'll stop stroking you so much now.
I'm blushing.
Right, your head's going
All
to
right,
expand.
yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this:
Yep.
How did you first discover your passion, your interest in music?
So when I was a wee child,
A wee child.
I saw a shiny pair of drumsticks. I'm like, I want to do that. That looks cool. I played for a couple of years. I'm like, I don't really care anymore. And then one day we were driving along, and Zeppelin's Kashmir came on, and I'm like, yo, this is otherworldly.
Right.
There's something happening here. And it was around the same time that my grandfather was having some complications and passing away, and I definitely found some solace in that music, and I became obsessed with Led Zeppelin, John Bonham, that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, it just became, it became my passion. I had to follow it.
That is so cool, and it's funny. It's funny how you mentioned John Bonham,
Oh, yeah.
local guy. His son, right, is a local.
Jason, yeah.
Jason is a local guy. I was having lunch years ago. I can't. What was the name of the place?
Well, you had lunch today, too.
I
by the
understand.
way.
But what was the place that we had lunch? The barbecue place right by Hooters.
I don't know.
Whatever. There was some barbecue place.
Shakes.
Whatever. it's
Ribs,
called.
something
Yeah.
rib.
Shane's Rib
Shane's
Shack.
Rib Shack.
Shane's
There
Rib
you
Shack.
go. There you go.
So
Good food, terrible
having,
service.
I was having lunch by myself that day, and their staff was all really young, right? They were all real young, and there was a girl behind the counter. She was on the phone, and she was clearly talking to someone who was related to a famous person, a famous musician. And again, I said, I'm not trying to eavesdrop, but you're standing right here talking. I'm like, so you're talking to somebody who's related to somebody famous? Who is it? And she said, she said to me, have you ever heard of Led Zeppelin? I'm like, fuck, who? No, never. Yeah, so it was kind of funny that,
Right
that
on.
she was talking to Jason's daughter, I guess.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. Right on. So, all right, so again, so you found music, and it's a healing thing, and it helps evolution of people and everything, right? So you got into music. How did you end up at School of Rock? Because you've gone to school, right? Like you're a musician.
Yeah. So I have a bachelor's degree from FAU
Awesome.
in
Go
commercial
Owls.
music.
Go Owls.
Yeah. And then right out the gate there, I needed a job. And I interviewed at School of Rock a little bit north, and then one of my college buddies was like, why don't you do the Boca one? It just
The one
opened.
next to FAU.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, duh, I'll do that.
That makes
and
sense.
I got in there, and no, it's been great. Been working there ever since.
I love that.
Yep.
All right, and so you juggle multiple roles, right? You are music director. You're a member of what, 2-3 bands,
Yeah.
and you're a home brewer.
Yeah.
You make your own beer. How do you juggle all of it? How do you juggle these passions, right? Because they are passions,
Sure.
right? Teaching is a passion. Playing music is a passion, and brewing is a passion.
By the way, before you answer, what a cool life.
Right?
How many people get to live their passions?
Right?
For sure.
That is so freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's give and take, So and it's really what's fueling the creativity. So it's a catharsis if like brewing beer. It's like, oh man, I've been working on music so much and I'm just burnt out.
Right.
I don't have any ideas. I'm gonna go,
Right. Change your focus.
come up with a recipe, and so then I'll do that, and then that'll get stale, and I'm like, oh, here's a plethora of new ideas for songs, and so just back and forth, diversify the creativity.
It's so cool, right? We can get between teaching, between playing and writing and creating music and creating your beer. That is super cool.
And he's
it's-
like a human dictionary.
yeah, he is.
It's just
Catharsis and plethora.
yeah, I know.
All right.
It's and it's just the same thing. Like the way that you're gonna arrange a song so that all the parts work together to create harmony. No pun intended. That was terrible.
Come on, that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good pun.
no, that's
Same thing with beer. Like you gotta make sure like the water profile is a great foundation, and then how the grains and the hops and adjuncts and yeast all work together. It's literally just like you're playing with different genres, and it's ultimately up to you how it's gonna come out.
That's super cool. And I think we've talked about before, right? My brother and I have a really good friend. I mean, he's been my friend since my brother was 10, right? So that's at least 5 years, right?
A couple. Yeah.
That he
Or 35. Yeah.
yeah, he brought back to life the oldest brewery in Rhode Island, the Providence Brewing Company. And like we need to, I just made a note that again, I don't know if there's anything that can come from connecting, but he makes some really cool beers, I assume, because I don't like beer. I told him, and I'll tell you the same thing. I love you. I will support the heck out of you. Don't ask me to drink it.
Sure.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
But if we can maybe connect the two of you, you never know what could come from it.
Absolutely.
An idea, a synchronicity.
Providence Brewing Company, Boca Raton.
That's what I keep looking for.
That's
Providence
I've
Brewing
told him
Company,
that
Boca
many
Raton.
times.
More than happy.
PBC BR.
Yeah.
There we go.
Perfect. Rolls right off the tongue.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So you've been part of some incredible bands, which we've had the pleasure of seeing in person,
sir.
such as Stumble Steady, Rogue Theory, and Rast the Band.
Let's go.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your involvement with them and what makes each one unique?
Yeah, how are they different?
Gotcha. So I am not in Rogue Theory anymore,
Okay.
but I definitely want to give it up. No, do your research. Come on, bro. Definitely want to give it up to those guys because they really helped me mature not only as a musician but as an individual. Like gave me a little bit more business acumen, how to approach situations, how to be extremely professional, and I've gotten to play some of the best and biggest gigs of my life with them. Just like going to Fort Myers on a Thursday night and then playing in front of thousands and thousands of people. Like
That's
how many
cool.
people
Pretty
get
cool.
to do that, right? And we got to play Sunfest and the NAMM show, some really, really cool just events here and there. And they taught me a lot. And then best man at my wedding, John Frasca,
Right.
guitarist of that band.
dude.
Love him. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the best.
We love him and Christy. They're
What
the
a
best.
what a
And,
musician too.
Dude, he's perfect.
And by the way,
Everything he does.
there are a lot of parallels, right? Because one of the ways, really, how we met Garrett and how we met Ben, our producer, right, is through School of Rock, Boca Raton, Golden Bell
what's that?
Education. Oh yeah, the championship trophy for 49
Wait,
Fingers right
40
here.
Wait,
That's
that's
your
my band.
and it's on your shirt,
Amazing.
right? But that's how we met. Was through the Golden Bell Education Battle of the Bands and School of Rock. I mean, and right, you and John were instrumental. Pun in
I'll
Ben
save
too.
my bad pun for later.
in helping us become champions, right? And again, to see you and John, I've seen both of you do the same thing. We're like, listen, I don't really play this instrument, but let me see it, and here's how I would do it. And you're like, yeah, you play that instrument. Just
How
so
do
you
you
know.
turn it on again?
It's all relative. It's the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you remember. I know this is not part of our script here, but I'm sure you remember when I took my drum lessons, I refused to go to anyone but you. Like you got me.
Connected.
They'd be like, "Well, Garrett's off for the week." There's something like, "That's okay. I'll wait till next week. Just book 3 next week. We're good." And I put the success of myself in my band because of you, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
50%.
you got me. No, for real, you got me because I'm sure you have nightmares about our sessions. I would like screw it up 1,400 times in a row, and then all of a sudden I would just get it, and it was good.
Right on.
Right? And it was so cool. What an amazing experience. And I owe this championship to you, brother. I do.
I appreciate it.
And listen, and honestly, I felt the same way, right? You were not my teacher, but you were our, what do you call it, the band producer, the manager,
like the director
director,
or whatever. Yeah.
right? And when I asked you a question, I'm like, I don't think it's a vocal coach I need stage presence. Who did you connect me with? That guy right
Look at
there,
that guy right
Ben
there.
Castro.
And quite a presence he has.
Right? And listen, because you did that and because Ben and I, spent time together and you spent so much time with the band, like Cat 4, champions. Like the guy makes a difference. This
For
guy,
real.
Ben, makes a difference. Like, you
Yes.
guys are awesome. Maybe not Ben.
Well,
We
I
love-
didn't have the pleasure of getting to work with Ben. I heard great things about him from my brother, but I was all Team Garrett, and
oh, yeah.
it was awesome. So and we had fun too. We
Oh,
did
heck
have fun.
No, we love you guys, and I'm a Rose now at the school because we're not gonna have you guys this year. Like,
know.
hopefully we'll have you back in some
Yeah.
capacity,
Oh, you
but
will.
it's been the first year in what 3
years,
years
yeah.
that
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have
There
the
will not
boys
be a
back at
Nathan
school.
We'll just hang out outside.
Yeah,
that's
Will,
fine.
you can't get us away from there.
That's fine.
But I wanted to ask a question back to your bands.
Yeah.
So Stumble Steady, Ras the band.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Like different genres of music.
Completely different genres.
So yeah, tell us.
They both originated as a form of catharsis. So Stumble Steady originated because I was in a different indie band from started in college, and it was kind of faltering, and I'm like, all the things that I want to be able to do in here, but I can't because it's an endeavor that you do with friends. So there's battles you got to pick and choose. So I was like, I can just be selfish and do whatever I want in this. And so as that band melted away, and as I went through Rogue Theory, and then I left that, it kind of became my sole musical enterprise there for a moment. And just the same thing. Like you bring people in and you work together, and we've had a lot of awesome times. Like.
Yeah, man.
Especially because of Ben there.
Oh,
And
Playing his little
our-
mini drum
our
set.
drummer.
the mini
yeah,
drum
baby.
set.
The
for
mini drum
performances.
set.
Yeah,
That thing's awesome.
Gotta love the cocktail kit. And
Yes, sir. I hope,
Look
I hope
different
that was
from our
drumming.
view, by the
yeah,
way,
Just
just
so
so
you
you
know. On screen, that looks a little funky. Just saying.
and same thing there. You move forward and you burn out to a degree on that, and you're
Right.
like, dang, like, all right, well, I need to do something cathartic.
Right.
And then I started this new thing, but straight up, because I have OCD, I'm like, I can't just have fun. I
Right.
have to make it something a little bit bigger and better that's going to have some kind of return on investment. And even the other half of Ras, Steve, and we're like, yeah, man, there's no pressure. Like, we're just gonna have fun. We played a few shows, and we're like, dang, we're bringing a lot of people out, and people really like this stuff,
Right.
and we can capitalize on it. No one else is really doing this. Like, why wouldn't we put a little bit more
Heck yeah.
into this?
And
Yeah.
what are the different musical genres? Right.
Right on. Stumble Steady is a little bit more like indie pop rock, a little bit of dream pop. Definitely give it up to Kara for kind of helping us find the path that we wanted to go on. I was kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall, see what would stick with different subgenres within like the indie realm. And she's like, I really like this. Let's do this. And then we did this. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna stop singing a little bit more. I'm gonna have you sing a little bit more. And she's like, okay. And then people were way more receptive to that. And we're like, yeah, cool. Don't mess with it if it works. So.
But I like when you sing.
I do too.
I
But
do.
Yeah.
I
It's
really
almost
do.
like you change your mind like a girl changes clothes.
Ooh,
dude.
I don't know.
God.
You're hot, then you're cold.
Ooh.
Yes.
100%.
Is that one of the covers that you guys do?
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's one of my
I
favorites.
see you
Come
guys
out to see
bopping
it.
around that. Yeah, for sure.
And
But,
Ras, like what's the musical there?
Oh man, that is tropical punk.
Right?
It is Blink 182 meets Jimmy Buffett.
Love that.
Yeah.
So cool.
Right
Love
on.
that.
I happen to like a little bit about Blink 182.
Oh, I know you do.
That drummer guy was.
Yeah.
Well, the drummer for 49 Fingers
Well, yeah.
playing Blink 182.
Hotter than Travis Barker.
Obviously.
Hands
Thank you.
down.
Thank
Obviously.
you. I appreciate that.
Right on.
Thank you. So let's talk about beer a little bit more again.
Let's do it.
Where did your love of beer come from? Was it you drank a natural ice when you were in high school? You're like, oh my God.
It's kind of just always been around in our family. And let's just say my grandfather was an enthusiast.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
An enthusiast.
And-
Understood.
Yeah, and there is a romanticism to beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's been an integral part of, humanity and
Mm-hmm.
its evolution for as long as we can, people toiling in the fields or
Right.
building architecture, like half of their payment could be beer, just the protein to keep them going. Miners back in the day, crack an egg in the beer,
Right.
get you going.
Right.
What? Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
know that.
That was the thing.
Yeah, and then even the inception of our country, like was fermenting in beer halls and pubs,
Yeah.
talking about revolution and stuff. So the historical aspect of it is cool, but beer is thematic and it's programmatic and it follows the wants, needs, and life of the people that create it. So like for instance, like a West Coast IPA tastes like the West Coast.
Right.
It's piney.
Right.
So like if you're walking through a forest,
Right.
it's gonna complement
It's
it.
gonna bring it back.
Yeah.
And not resemble. What's the word? Whatever. But
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
reminiscence.
Reminisce?
Thank you,
Reminisce.
reminiscence. There you go.
Man, you're so good. Look at you, bro.
Yeah, look at you guys. They're the two smart ones coming up with
Yeah.
all the good words,
No
and they're
kidding.
both musicians. Like WTF, bro.
Right on, dude. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite brew that you've created? Could you pick one?
Ooh, so probably like overall, my favorite, it would be a steam beer. Or like a California Common. It was one of my grandfather's favorite types of beers. Anchor Steam, which is going through some stuff right now out in California. That definitely paved the way for this style of beer.
Yeah.
And just the overall flavor is perfect. It is what a beer should be. Like it's kind of a morph between a lager and an ale, because due to just restrictions of the time, it's basically a lager fermented at the temperature of an ale. That makes it makes a
So it's a
really
bringing
unique
of
beer.
styles together.
Essentially, but born out of necessity. Just that's the case of America. And like, I'm not going to delineate and go super hard on this, but American beer is what it is because they worked with what they had. And it still is considered like quote unquote the standard, just your stereotypicals like Miller Lite and
Right.
stuff like that. And that's why I get so upset when people are like, I don't drink that craft beer or whatever. It's like, dude, that stuff is so much more hardcore and representative of the old world. And there's so much more heart to it that like, dude, you got to give it a shot. Like
Right.
if you just want to drink 20, Millers or whatever, like, that's cool, man.
Different, yeah.
But like, if you want to expand your horizons, but also pay homage to, people around the world, you got to try different stuff. So,
I love that.
I'm like that with food though.
oh yeah.
I like to try all foods.
Are there any local bars, restaurants that have the like drink around the world kind of programs that have you been to
World
any
of
bars
Beer?
that have those?
No?
Not really. Like I know World of Beer can have stuff from around. Like
Yeah.
I'm planning on going to Epcot. Just
Yeah,
but
there you go.
But I prefer to just travel and go to those
Yeah.
places if I can. So.
I asked because when I was in college, there was a bar in Alston or somewhere.
The red brick place there?
No, not the Red Hat. There was a bar just outside of Boston that had that drink all these beers, get a T-shirt.
Gotcha.
And here's a
Gotcha.
guy who, when I drink beer, I get a headache, I get congested, and I don't like the flavor.
Gotcha.
And I tried 50 beers because I wanted that damn T-shirt.
Yeah.
It only
I don't
cost
know
you
where it-
$1,700.
Yeah, I don't know
You
where
got
it
that
is.
damn T-shirt.
Yeah, and a lot of hangovers and headaches.
Right on.
But looking back though, I can see how that could be attractive to somebody who loves beer, who actually loves the flavor, the history,
Well, our friend Efren loves it too. The guy who owns the Providence Brewing Company.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
loves beer. He's tasting it and feeling the
yeah.
flavor.
Yeah.
And
And like comparatively, I feel like I'm only like a novice or intermediate. I've got
you don't sound like it.
No, thank you. I got family members on my wife's side that just like that is what they do. They live and breathe beer, and just the things that I've learned from them, indispensable.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
cool.
All right, so let me ask you about School of Rock.
Yeah.
School of Rock, Boca Raton. You guys help young musicians, not just young musicians.
And
you
old.
help musicians find their voice, whether it's actually their voice or whatever it is to
Absolutely.
express music. Have you had any students that are like, obviously present company excluded, that are standouts that have done stuff that you're like, oh my God, this student did blah, blah, blah.
Justin Bieber, right?
Right?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And even just kind of like going beyond our local School of Rock, there's been a whole bunch of School of Rock alumni that have gone on to do great things. I think one of the newest ones is, I don't know which particular school, but guitarist from School of Rock, I think, is now Olivia Rodrigo's guitarist.
Wow.
cool.
Which is crazy. Yeah. And yeah, they're
big time.
They're all over the place. And, like the top tier of School of Rock is All Stars. It's super competitive to get into, but
Right.
they've had the ability to open up for massive bands at major festivals like Green Day, and they play at
Really?
Lollapalooza, and they do regional tours and all this really, really cool stuff. And
That's amazing.
at the end of the day, it's just awesome for the kids. They're having a great time. They're safe. They're learning. They're
Right.
getting these experiences that you otherwise wouldn't have gotten.
Right.
No, it's just awesome.
Yeah, and listen, in that vein too, with the kids bands, and again, forgive me because I don't remember the names of all the categories, right? But you have the band that toured South Florida and Georgia, and like,
Yeah.
right? We've seen them play. They're so friggin' good.
Yeah.
And they're kids. Like, how did that come about? They're just kids that went to go take lessons at School of Rock, and they're like, oh, I really like this, and you guys identified their passion, like, oh, she's good.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's a combination of that and just them putting in the work. So the band that represents our school, like all School of Rocks and everything, that's our house band, and they have to be in our performance program to audition to do house band. And, you know, once they audition, if they make it, you know, they're out becoming representatives for our school, for our brand, for our community, and you know they absolutely crush it. And not only are they super just awesome on stage and supportive of each other, and you know people that they've never met before from other schools. Even like on our tour, people would come up to us and be like, they are just so respectful, and you know, they're not making a ruckus or anything. They're just like, it was super pleasant to be around them.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just awesome on and off the stage.
Yeah, that's cool. And I have to say, if somebody said to me, Michael, what's the coolest thing you've ever done in your life? 100% honest, it was the Battle of Vince.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was probably the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life. And the coolest, when I was done, first off, I wanted to just go to bed. Like we had to go out. I'm like, I was exhausted. But it was such an amazing experience to be up there on stage, right? On stage in front of what, 600 people,
700,
whatever it was.
yeah.
Play, you know, a realtor playing freaking drums in a band. And for me, the actual coolest part was leading up to it was the first group session that we had. Because we're doing our little lessons and then everyone's doing their own lessons and we get together and we played the song.
Right.
It was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It was the coolest experience ever.
Is that cool
real.
for you to see that?
Absolutely.
To see the parts that you've probably seen or heard him or her taking their lessons. You know, like, oh shit.
I didn't know how it works.
then
I'm not a
come
musician.
together.
I love music, but I'm like, holy shit, 5 people who didn't play together just played a song.
Yeah.
No, I love watching the evolution of
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
happen, and like, you know, we know you guys are gonna crush it.
Right.
Yeah.
When you get on stage, and you know, we've been doing it long enough where we can like, okay, we got to fix this a little bit. We got to try a little bit of a different technique, work this way around. But like at the end of the day, we know we're always going to give a good end goal. But it also is completely dependent on y'all. It's completely dependent on the person.
course.
Like if they like you guys did the extra practice, you
Every
had
day.
questions.
Right.
Yeah.
I practiced literally every day, even if it was for only 10 minutes in my garage.
Yeah.
Every single day, mostly because I didn't want to be embarrassed on stage.
Sure.
Yeah.
And one other thing that, you know, I got to give everybody who's done this credit for, and Ben can attest to this as well, is, you know, especially independent musicians, small bands, you know, we start off by playing to no one in, you know, an empty bar and work our way up. And then, you know, we get a big break. Here's hundreds, thousands of people, whatever. You guys are like, yeah, we never played before. Now playing in front of like 500 people.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And you know, like my brother said, practicing every day is right? Because I was singing. I had the benefit that I could just be in my car and sing on my way to work or sing.
I
between
tried, but the
appointments.
drum set just wouldn't.
It wouldn't
The
balance
kick
on the
drum.
hood.
It was the kick drum mostly. I kept confusing it with the gas.
You can practice muscle memory to, you know, a specific degree,
Right.
But you know, the way that, you know, your sticks or the beater are going to interact with the drum set, that's half the battle, working with the rebound.
Right.
So, yep.
That's the word I was actually thinking. I'm like, yeah, it's the rebound. It's different.
Yeah.
Whether it's a string, a key, or a drum.
It's all physics,
Right.
just working with it.
Right? Who knew the music was so cool? Like, he's the best, isn't he?
He is.
There you go.
Absolutely. Do you have any favorite local music spots in South Florida? Like Garrett's not playing tonight. He wants to go kick back and listen to some music.
There's a handful. COVID wiped out a lot of the best ones.
Unfortunately,
You know, so when Funky Buddha Lounge went over to Robot, Funky Buddha and Robot were just like my home away from home. Unfortunately, Robot's not with us anymore, but also massive shout out to them on my brewing journey as well. Like I would literally play a show and then the next morning, hey, can I like hop in a brew just to learn? And they're like, yeah.
And they were open to that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And they were a homebrew store. So,
collaboration's so
dude,
cool.
they were incredible. You know, I got to give it up to like our hometown spots like Propaganda in Lake Worth. My boys in Beeline and Succulent Sound Studios do sound there. They're super into that. Like I said, there's a lot more venues more so in Miami. We're kind of in this like uncomfortable little spot in
between.
Boca. Crazy Uncle Mike's massive. I've had a lot of really cool shows there. They're always kind of our home turf for our end of season shows at School of Rock. Mike is awesome. Their staff are incredible. Like
I see that the kids bands play there all the time, right?
Yeah,
That's so cool that he's open to that.
We always feel welcome there, and you know we just love them there.
Yeah. And he's so good to the community too.
Yeah.
Right. He's so generous with his space and his time. He's always giving back. And his, you know, whenever anybody asks, hey, we need a venue for an event, he's like, yep.
Yeah, he's the best
Yeah, just a generous guy, a great person in our community.
for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love that. Okay, so let me ask you this. So you and your lovely wife, Lexi,
Who's awesome?
right? Obviously, she's
awesome, too.
awesome.
Considerably better than I am in
Well,
every
yes,
way.
yes.
She's pretty awesome. So you guys joined us last year in our Latin dance lesson class, right? And by the way, I think you each danced with everybody except each, right? Just the way
Yeah.
it worked, you didn't end up dancing with each other.
I know.
I danced with your wife. Did you dance with his
I
wife?
danced with his wife.
His wife was
I
pretty
was
good dancer.
I was a gentleman.
I was
less of a gentleman.
What's up, guys?
I was less of a gentleman. So listen, you're a musician in multiple bands. You're a teacher. You're a brewer. Do you guys have anything that you do together, like as a hobby? Like, do you go take Latin dancing lessons? What do you guys do?
We do not take Latin
No?
dancing lessons.
I would've thought you
And
did.
I am a terrible dancer.
I thought you were pretty
Lexi's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's really stupid that I play music really well. I can't move to save my life.
Because your calves are too big.
Yeah, there you go. In the moment, whatever it is, it doesn't look good, but it looks interesting. What do we do together? We really like being in nature together.
Yeah.
Me and my family, we go to national parks a lot. We're exploring a lot of the state parks. Just went to Jonathan Dickinson last weekend or 2 weeks ago.
that.
Just exploring as much as we possibly can about Florida, our country, wherever. If we're just chilling at home, we're gonna build some Legos or something
go.
like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Legos? What kind of Lego? Star Wars?
Oh, dude, ton of Star Wars Legos. Try to get on the Indiana Jones ones.
Hey, speaking
We
of
know
Indiana
him.
Jones, we literally have someone on our handyman team. His name is Indiana Jones. His name is Samuel Indiana Jones.
Oh my God.
He goes by Indy.
Okay.
And that's not the only cool thing about him, right? His grandfather was Sam Jones, who played on the Boston Celtics. Not just played on the Boston Celtics, he won 10 championships with Bill Russell. Indy, again, works with us on Home Dudes, Florida. Indy's sister works at the Chamber of Commerce, Kaylee.
Right on.
But but I just had to interject because that is the coolest name ever.
For sure.
Yeah.
The man's name is
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And he
Al-
goes by Indy.
Also made him tough as hell, like having to deal with that.
Well, he's a big, tall kid.
yeah.
Say something.
Yeah. Right on.
I love
That's
that.
cool. So, do you have a local go-to restaurant here in South
All right,
Florida?
Mike, I got to bring this up because I was listening to y'all
Yeah.
when you were with your last guest. I was standing over there, and he's like, Wales rib. And you're like, I don't care. And I honestly almost crashed through this
Yeah?
and through some
Really?
hands.
You
Yeah.
love Wales rib?
I really like Wales rib. And it's not only
have to
for
go
the
back.
food, it's just kind of like it's
The
like
atmosphere.
Lexi and I's spot, The Key West dolphin sandwich, I love it. I'll get like a clam strips basket or something like that. But Senior Burrito, I know you guys name dropped that one too.
Yeah.
That one's awesome. I wrote this down because I cannot mess these up.
Okay.
Finally tried Fran's Chicken Haven. Amazing.
So good.
I've never
right?
been there. I don't think.
I love that place.
So good,
That-
Thank you. Yes.
Wait, I had to just jump in. Have you ever gotten the mash bowl?
No.
Mashed potatoes, chicken nuggets, gravy, and then those corn, the corn,
niblet or
corn fritters or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, they have.
I'm telling you right
I
now,
haven't had that.
if you want to go to sleep,
Yeah.
that is
No,
the-
you should have a big bowl and then go play a
Go
gig.
play.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we so what we do at School of Rock is after every end of season show, we have a prep week where we shut down the school for a week and
Right.
we clean, we get ready for the next season, cast, all that kind of good stuff. And we're like, yeah, we're gonna go to Fran's after this. All of us were just passing out in the parking lot.
Yes.
It's oh my god,
delicious.
so good. But yeah,
Heavy.
It's really good.
so good.
I love food.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fried chicken guy,
he's
to be honest,
crazy.
which is weird, especially chicken
not my
fingers. 'Cause
brother.
I know everyone loves chicken fingers. However, I finally tried Raising Cane's, and I dream about their chicken fingers with that sauce.
Right on.
That place is awesome. Have you been?
No, I haven't.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a chain, but to me, I don't like I said, I could care less about chicken fingers. Those I crave.
Hell yeah.
They're awesome.
Good stuff.
All right, and so before I interrupted you, so you were the last place you mentioned was France. Are there other places that you're like, oh, that's my?
You had a lot of notes there, so
I know.
Yeah, dude. I
Hopefully
I
all
can't
food
prepare.
related.
I can't. Yeah, I mean,
He's an
look at me.
educator.
Of
He's an
course, it's all
educator.
food
He's
related. Yeah, Paolo's Pizza, right around the corner from
Love
us.
Paolo's.
Yeah, dude, they've always been super nice to us. Like
and very
they're
well
good.
priced.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. And in my opinion, like the sauce is a little bit sweeter. Am I
Yeah.
wrong about that?
No, you're not
you're
wrong.
I've never really tasted anything like that, and I'm like, this is a it's a pleasant change from
Correct.
like a stereotypical like robust
Right.
sauce.
I agree.
Can I make a
Yeah.
note about Paula's Pizza though? So this is weird. So I will eat basically any pizza anytime, hot, cold, doesn't matter.
Fact.
Paula's is really good fresh and honestly not good cold.
Interesting.
Have you if you haven't noticed, notice it next time.
The
it's
cheese,
weird.
The cheese.
I don't
is
know
it-
exactly
it's- yeah.
why. It's just it's
Okay.
so good when you get it and the next day it's never
I don't know that I paid
Okay.
attention to that. I'll have to.
I'm a
I
pizza
usually
sour.
don't have leftovers. So
Well, you're young. As you get older,
Yeah,
you will
sure.
eat
Things
less.
change.
Because trust me, I hate that I only eat 2, sometimes 3 slices, but I
Can't
regret
have 3
3.
slices.
gotcha.
I used to be able to eat a whole pie by myself, and
Yeah.
not so much anymore.
No.
Is there a favorite? Excuse me.
You're good.
English is not my first language. Do you have a favorite dish at a local restaurant? I know you mentioned the Key West Dolphin sandwich.
Yeah.
And by the way, here it says, "Is there a favorite dish that's a must try?" I almost said mustache, but
Why would you say mustache?
I don't
There you
know.
go, baby.
It's a handsome mustache.
Do you have a
Thank you.
favorite dish?
Not really. I like to try a lot of different stuff. Like I can't. In Meisner, there's Calaveras.
Oh, yeah.
That place is pretty good too. I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that place.
Lex and I like to go. We last winter we went just a little bit before Christmas, and we're like, the atmosphere is perfect. We're gonna
Right.
do this every year, and they have a burrito there, chicken burrito that is insane.
Really?
Yeah, it's got like Chihuahua cheese on it, and just
I don't
this
even. It's like it's
fantastic
actually
sauce.
made out of dog.
Nah, dude,
Not cheese from the area of Chihuahua. It's actually dogs. That are trying to
That's
turn into
grated.
cheese.
that is disgusting.
There's plenty of Chihuahuas around
Oh my
Meisner.
god! Right on.
Oh, maybe that's
Dude,
that's
I have a
animal control.
Chihuahua,
Not
man.
Milo.
Yeah,
Not
Milo, my
Milo.
Chihuahua.
Not for
dude.
long. Not for
No,
long.
dude.
Hey, get out of here!
So let me ask: Do you eat? Oh, you said you eat clams and dolphin, at not flipper,
Yeah, I
but,
know what you mean.
mahi.
Yeah.
So at Calaveras, there's remember that shrimp dish I got?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I don't even.
Yeah.
It's like it just comes like in a cauldron.
Gotcha.
And
Cauldron.
a cauldron. Yeah, listen, he's
Is
using
that-
words. I'm trying to pull
Love
up a
it.
word once in a while as an
Love it.
educator. But I got a side of white rice and just put the white rice in, and it was delicious. I mean, it's one of those sauces that if nobody was looking, I would maybe put a straw in and drink it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was that good.
getting hungry, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
Ooh,
How about
sorry.
the plantains there? Have you ever had the plantains at Calaveras?
I haven't, but
good.
you got me on sauce for a second.
Yeah.
Rancheritos down Glades. That's Colombian
They
style.
make
Okay.
great empanadas.
Yes, that and the
the
ají
little-
sauce. It's yeah. Talking about
Oh
drinking
my god,
sauce.
I
yeah,
love that. Love that stuff.
yeah, dude.
God,
I'm not hungry.
Ben, can we get some empanadas over here, please? Stat.
You guys have made me so hungry during this podcast. You're
glad you
right
said
here.
that.
Oh,
yeah.
God, man. We got to start bringing these
Right? Seriously.
the restaurant's food
Yeah.
in
Right?
here and start doing.
Only show up. You know, you get the script beforehand. Only show up
Yeah.
if you bring that food
What's
with
your
you.
favorite restaurant? What's your favorite dish? Bring it.
Bring it.
Oh my
And
god.
feed me.
It's been brought in.
I need some more of those cake.
Cake
those-
sticks.
Those
Cakes
cake
de
sticks.
sabores.
Ooh.
Love that too. All right, so we like really putting the spotlight on people that make an impact, that make a difference. You see a lot of people, whether it's your interaction through Battle of the Bands, with all your students and their families, through your music experience. Can you think of one or a couple of people or organizations that, in the local art and music community that inspire you? Like, who are people that need a spotlight shown on them,
Gotcha.
shined on them?
I'm always gonna hype up my boys, Succulent Sound Studios.
Okay.
So it is created by my good friend Monty. I went to college with him, played in a number of bands with him. He literally just bought this house and was like, I'm just gonna gut it, build it up again, make a home recording studio.
Amazing.
And it is a beautiful studio.
Really?
Whenever I need to do vocals for Stumble or Ras, I'm heading there. It's just a really chill, relaxed environment. They make you feel right at home, so you can get the best takes. And they're really just out in the music community, like Monty, Brendan, Brian, all those guys, especially from Beeline. They're out there making a difference, and I always recommend people to go to that studio. 100%.
cool.
But then also like all the instructors at School of Rock. are, you know, in their own band. So like Ben's in Squids with
Right.
Steve, and, you know, Steve and I do Ras together, and Ben and I do Stumble together, and our manager Lindsay, you know, she's in Surfer Blood and she does her own stuff, which
Did you
is
say
awesome.
Surfer Blood?
Surfer Blood? Yeah, dude,
Okay.
they're a bona fide band. They're awesome. Yep,
I wanted to make sure I heard it
for
correctly.
sure, for sure.
So, hey, so listen, with that, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
As somebody who loves live music, I love Stumble Steady. I haven't heard Ras except for online yet. I love what I hear from Ras. I love what, Ben, you shared about, you know, the music from the Squids. Where can our listeners, and when I say our listeners, I mean me,
Sure.
where can I go and figure out where are you playing, when are you playing, or not necessarily even just you guys, but cool, good live music from local artists? Where can we?
So any artist is going to have their social media pages,
Yeah.
100% for Stumble Steady and Ras. If you just go on our Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all, you know, the big three.
Right.
We're going to be posting where we're playing. Everybody pretty much does the same. And then just your, you know, the local venues, as you hear about them, they're always posting. And then want to give a shout out also, because you guys were talking about local people in the community. Kenny Prather, for Kenny's calendar, he has just always been in our corner. You know, he just came to a show and he's like, I love you guys. And he always does his best to post like every single show that's happening in the scene. He is awesome. I just got to give it up to him.
Yeah, so Kenny's calendar, that's, you search
Yep.
online for that, and he posts stuff about shows. And
Yeah, like everybody, like follow his Instagram. There's everything that's happening. He is on top of it. Yep.
love that.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So, for someone who dreams of pursuing a career in music, whether it's playing or educating, what advice would you give them?
You got to do it your own way. The industry.
Frank Sinatra, right?
There you go.
I didn't know.
I'm actually not a huge Frank Sinatra fan, and everyone's like, "Dude, what's wrong?"
Oh, neither am I. It's just
All right, I'm glad I'm
that,
not alone.
that you
I like
set
a
it up for
couple.
that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
like
a
a
big
couple.
fan.
There you go. The industry it's so different. Things were done like one particular way for so long that even, you know, I was going to school, they're like, this is the way things are done. And then just with the advent of deeper and wider social media, like it just completely dirty, man. It completely just turned everything on its head. So there are people literally just doing TikTok skits, dances, these massive campaigns, whatever you need to do to get the job done that's different that a million other people aren't doing, just go ahead and do it. But you got to do it because you can't do anything else. I forgot, I was watching a specific actress, I cannot remember, and they asked the same thing. Well, what advice would you give to anyone doing it or wanting to do it? And she was like, if there's anything else that you can possibly think of that you would be content or happy, do that. If you cannot live without doing it, do it.
Oh, cool.
And I'd say the exact same thing to all my students. Like any student who's like, I'm thinking about doing it, I give them that speech and I'm like, I'm 100% behind you. I will do whatever I can to help you get to where you want to get. But you have to only crave doing this
Right.
if you're going to do it.
Because it's a commitment,
Yeah.
and because the upside is not always there for everybody.
Yeah. And like, I'm super grateful to be working at School of Rock, not only because it's an awesome community and, you know, awesome kids and people to be around. But, you know, as soon as I was able to fall into this music director position and like really start working there, be able to like make a living and everything like that, I was like, wow, I don't have to quote unquote care about music anymore. I can do it because I enjoy it, but in turn, it made the productions and the songs so much better because it's more organic.
Right.
So yeah, super grateful to School of Rock for more than one reason.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love that. That's amazing. Amazing. So let me ask you this: where'd you grow up?
Melbourne,
Australia?
couple hours north of here in Central Florida. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And so you came to South Florida because of FAU.
Yeah.
You went to school at FAU, and have you ever played music up in the Melbourne area, like back home?
Yeah. I played Debauchery. There's a couple other places there. I've been lucky to play all around Melbourne, Tallahassee, or not Melbourne, sorry, Florida. Tallahassee, Tampa, all those good places, and been lucky to play in, you know, California and New Southeastern tours and all that good stuff, Tennessee, whatever.
That's super cool.
Yep.
I love that. So you've played lots of, right? He just talked about it. You've played lots of shows, lots of places,
At least two.
at least a
Yeah.
couple. Right. What would you say is the funniest or most unexpected thing that's ever happened during a live show?
Oh God.
Yeah. You listen,
Funniest.
He just
bring a
thought of like
couple.
47
I know,
things.
So maybe a couple. I heard Ben go, ooh.
There's just so many, from like you're a drummer and your front man says the wrong thing at the wrong time to the wrong person. You're like, yo, I don't know that guy. What are you talking about? And just things happening, like gear breaking on stage, audiences doing funny things, hopping up with you, jumping out into the audience and moshing like on like
Really?
a break. Yeah, like the story that always is bittersweet, which is funny, but in the moment it was awful. Was I got to play Sunfest with Rogue Theory a couple of years ago, but I had an awful IBS attack on the way,
that's not
and
fun.
you don't know what it's like to have to get ready to play for thousands of people, but you're fighting yourself. So I was just like, I drank like a whole
sweat a lot.
Pepto-Bismol, hit every bar on the way there. And by the time I got to the stage, I was just drained. I was like, let's just do
Okay,
it.
let's just go for it.
So sorry, man.
It's life, man.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Well, listen, I mean, we had, when I say we, I'm including myself.
Shit happens.
Shit does happen.
It happens.
You're so handsome. Look at you over there.
At Ben Castro. But so when 49 Fingers was playing at Battle of the Bands, right, Samir, who was the 9 finger of 49 Fingers, right, his guitar strap broke while performing. And I can't remember if it was Garrett or Steve.
It
Probably
wasn't
Steve.
Garrett. Yeah, definitely not Garrett.
Probably
Right.
Steve.
But props for Samir, who just kind of knelt down and put the guitar on his thigh and kept playing, even though the strap, but then he got strapped back up again. Like that's
No,
stuff happens.
You gotta, and all of us are super proud when that happens to one of the students in a live show. I had a student, the keyboard crashed and fell off the stand, and he lunged at it and kept playing.
Really?
Yeah, no, the kids are awesome. Like they
love that.
don't just go, I don't know what to do. They just hop
just
right
keep
in,
going.
they crush
Yeah,
it.
just keep going.
That's
Yeah.
because they have good leadership. They have good teachers.
Oh my god,
I love that.
So
gassing me
cool.
up.
Do you have any books, podcasts, or social media accounts that you follow that you love that inspire you musically or creatively or anything like that?
Podcast junkies.
Ooh, I
I'm
love
staring
those guys.
right at camera 5. Podcast junkies.
How do you spell podcast?
With an EEZ.
And the Digital Mayors podcast
I
as
love
well.
those guys. Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
absolutely.
It's working.
Sorry, you're saying, just can you repeat the question?
Any books, podcasts, or social media accounts that help inspire you creatively, musically?
There's been so many books that I read a lot of books, guys. Well, at least I used to.
Are there any books that you read over and over again?
Not really. As I grow, I like to revisit certain books, or like Cormac McCarthy. His grammar is intentionally terrible, but it's 100% his style, and it makes for really artistic vision. And it's just very visceral in how he writes, but his prose, especially like Blood Meridian, I'm working through that. It's a rough read, but it's good. It's super reminiscent of like Herman Melville, like
cool.
reading like Moby Dick and stuff like that.
Call me Ishmael.
There you go. I like to come back to All Quiet on the Western Front. That has like my favorite passage in a book that I've ever read. Books don't tend to kind of fuel my fire with music. They're like movies or just other music, because the best composers just stole from everybody else. So that's all you're doing is just stealing and then like repackaging it. And then, all my friends call me out. Hey, I know where you stole that from. I'm like, no, you didn't. Shut up. So
Wait a second. Is this the guy who said that he didn't love the song "Blow" with Ed Sheeran and
don't
Chris
ever
Stapleton?
accuse me of stealing anything
No,
from that.
not stealing. No. But we talked about it, that it's a good song, but it's very derivative, right? It's not derivative. It's manufactured.
Yeah, that's the perfect word. They know exactly who their target demographic is. And like when I saw people playing it, I'm like, yeah, exactly. That is the and so they
worked on me.
They set out to they accomplished
Mission
what they set out to
accomplished.
do. Yeah.
So you're not doing a cover of it?
Absolutely not. Unless you
You've
pay
heard
me
it here,
a
folks.
ton of money to do it. Absolutely.
I love that song.
Yeah, everyone's got a cost.
I'm really happy. You like
I'm
that
really happy you
song.
have poor taste in music, man. It's good taste in music. It's just it was intentionally manufactured.
It's
for me to like it.
subjective.
From Family,
man.
remember from Family Guy?
It insists upon
Meg
its-
is dating some guy, and he goes, "I know how you love terrible music, so I got you this Maroon 5 CD."
Yeah, for sure. No, it's subjective, and I had to get above myself there for a minute and be like, people like what they like. Yeah, just shut
Yeah,
up.
people like what they like. It's all good. It's all good, baby. So what's next for you? Do you have any big projects or upcoming events that the world should know about?
So for personal bands, Stumble Steady's got a bunch of shows coming up, especially at Matthews Brewing. I'd like to give a shout out to Matthews Brewing. That's
Where's
kind of,
that? I don't know.
It's
Lake Worth.
Ben, yeah, Lake Worth. Lake Worth area. Cool. And they're slowly becoming our home hub. So really like them. Ras is in the process of booking some shows. We're gonna do. We're working on an EP right now. Ben, on the way over here, I listened to our completed master for our latest Stumble Steady single.
Nice.
So that'll be coming out soon.
Ooh,
That's
very
exciting.
exciting.
I'm excited to hear that.
Yep, that's good. School of Rock, we got a bunch of we're always booking shows, especially our house band. I think there's the Baptist Health Urgent Care Center.
Ooh,
I
sounds
think
sexy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
What gig are you playing? Well, the Baptist Health.
yeah.
Urgent
It's
care.
it's
But
gonna
can
be.
I tell you? But that's pretty awesome that they're
Oh
doing
yeah,
that.
no,
Yeah.
no.
I would love to
Yeah.
do that. That would be fun.
Well,
It's
you
gonna
could.
be it's gonna be a holiday show. I think that's December 7th. Our house band's gonna be playing, and I think there's gonna be a
on
Troy.
Pearl Harbor Day.
Oh my god!
Jeez,
I thought that was the 6th, man.
it's not.
It's not.
No,
Oh,
I only know because it was our cousin's.
It
Well, it still is
still
our
is our
cousin.
cousin's
Our
birthday.
cousin's
Alright.
birthday.
all right. Shot me down. All right, that's cool, man.
Was that a
I'm
pun
learning.
too?
No.
December
Oh,
7th, shot me
dude.
down. Bro.
No,
Bro.
I do not condone this.
By the way, our cousin whose birthday it is, Brian Punjavani, lives in Rhode Island. He played, hopefully still does, play bass. He was in a punk band in Rhode Island, and they called themselves, you ready? They called themselves the Quadriplegics, and their tagline is cripplingly fast punk music,
rough.
right? And their stuff was pretty cool, though. It was
Rough.
It was fast.
Ben, don't cut to me on that.
It was pretty good.
So School of Rock's got a ton of shows coming up. We're going to have our end of season show at Crazy Uncle Mike's. I believe that's in January. We're doing something we've never done before.
Ooh,
that's
what's
actually really cool. We are going to be giving a presentation on Woodstock at FAU on December 10th at
Really?
the Lifelong Learning Center. Really, really cool. I've never done anything like this before. At least, our specific school has never done
Right.
anything like this before. Doing a ton of research, getting prepared, learning some songs. So it's going to be a combination.
So you're actually going to play some stuff.
We're going to be playing some stuff that was played at the festival
Nice.
or like that influenced the artists of the festival. And then,
So cool.
even like Woodstock 94.
Right.
And then just talking about, the historical facts.
Right,
of,
the
of-
significance.
That's
and
so
all
yeah,
cool.
yeah, very excited about that.
that. And I'll bet you at FAU you'll have some children of Woodstock in the audience.
Oh, for sure.
Literally,
94, probably not
conceived.
the original.
Maybe not 94.
Yeah, I've already
Children.
spoken to someone who played with Hendrix at Woodstock.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's really cool.
Is anybody going to light their guitar on fire? Or
I mean, if you want to donate one, I'm more than happy.
Insurance may not cover that.
Yeah,
They may not be too happy about that.
for sure.
Controlled environment. They don't want that.
For sure.
All right, so awesome. So let me say this for our listeners: if you mention "Rock On," that's in your honor, by the way. If you mention "Rock On," you will get from the bros, from the dudes, a 20% discount on labor when working with Home Dudes Florida or Paver Dudes Florida. And
Up to $250
Up to $250. Thank you, my brother. Keep me in check.
Thank you.
And
Got a mortgage.
And all that's true. And speaking of mortgage, mention Rock On, and we will give you an appraisal credit up to $750 when you work with the bros, real estate and mortgage.
For sure.
Just because we love you. We want to give
Yeah.
you people that have listened this long that are School of Rock fans.
Absolutely. And please remember to follow Garrett on Instagram at Garrett Keeler and check out School of Rock Boca Raton at School of Rock Boca Raton. Very original. We'll include links to his band, Stumble Steady and
Dude,
Ras the
you're
Band
fumbling
in
now.
the show
Come on,
notes.
man.
I know. We'll put links
But
to the band.
I think he was going to say Stone Temple Pilots. Like that's a pretty good. You
I
could mix that
wish.
up, right?
I loved
wish.
STP. I had the patch on my hat growing up.
Oh, yeah,
I loved me some STP.
we carry
As a matter of
karaoke
fact,
STP.
I'm always struggling on which karaoke songs to do. And the last time we did it at my house, I'm like, you know what? There's two songs I've wanted to do. Well, one song I've wanted to do and one group. I always wanted to sing something by Stone Temple Pilots. So I did, and it was good.
It was awesome.
And then I did Metallica, Nothing Else Matters.
Right on.
Right.
And I conquered that fear.
You did a great job.
And it was fun and awesome. Anyways.
Yeah. So, Garrett, thank you. I'm so grateful that Garrett made time for us, right? Because really, you have
Love
a
you
busy
guys.
you have a busy schedule, right? Educating the kids and the adults and playing and creating your music and brewing beer. I mean, we're definitely grateful and thank you for sharing your story. It's been eye-opening, inspiring, informational, and again, we just kind of love you just to see that.
Love you
Absolutely.
guys.
By the way, you're welcome. I'm just going to put that out there. And here's why.
Yeah, I want to hear why.
I
too.
did not bring any Garrett bucks.
Oh man.
I did not. And by the way, if you'd like to know what a Garrett buck is, either email us at info@digitalmayorpodcast.com or DM us, and I'll send you a picture of what a Garrett buck is. That's for School of Rock.
Or
Boca
even
Raton.
better, come on into School of
Ooh,
Rock.
come into School of Rock Boca Raton.
Yes.
Earn some Garrett bucks.
Absolutely.
I've earned one Garrett buck.
I don't know what a Garrett buck is.
You'll listen. Maybe if
I'll fill you in.
you DM us, I'll let you know.
I will definitely DM. What was that again? I'm just joking. And to all our listeners at home, please remember to subscribe on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, all the places you can do your podcast. And remember to leave us a 5-star review if you found anything he said interesting.
Obviously.
Which, of course, you did.
Come on.
And like I said, leave us that 5-star review, please. Remember to drop comments with your favorite part of today's podcast. And if you have suggestions on other people you think we should be talking to. So we just want to say,
Thank you. We love having you.
this is
man.
awesome.
Love
and
you
you're-
guys.
Yeah, right back at you.
We
And,
love you.
And you ready from Eric the actor from the Howard Stern Show? Bye for now.
Squaw.
Here comes our killer music, right?
Oh,
Could you drum to this?
sultry. Don't need to. It's a fire track on it already.
Right.
There you go.
That's me. I record the whole thing.
Yeah, I believe you 100%.
Tell me.
I do say to my family all the time when we're in the car and there's songs on, I'm like, I could drum that.